Okay, folks, we take you out of that very exciting race because we've had a bit of a delay, but that's all right because now we've got something very special for you because, as we know, we are celebrating 60 years of McLaren racing and, more importantly, Bruce McLaren, who made it all happen and came over from New Zealand, and the rest is history, and it goes on into a very fine history, which we are trying to purvey as best we can this weekend. But I think Jeffrey O'Neill and his team have done a hell of a job, including Zak Brown, of course, the current CEO of McLaren Racing. And we've had his drivers here in modern cars, and now we're looking at McLaren's auto cars, effectively their road cars, which was I guess a real ambition both of Bruce McLaren, who we lost early, and also it went on to Ron Dennis and now Zak Brown, and the continuation continues. And I'm delighted to welcome the one member of the McLaren family we have here, Amanda McLaren. Thank you so much for coming. I know you were out there yesterday, but we've got you in here. And again, Steve Donnell, both enjoying, I'm sure, the weekend. Have we done justice? Let's put it first and foremost. You're the McLaren here. Have we given a tribute to Bruce that he would have been proud of?
Oh my goodness, yes. Dad would just have loved this. What an amazing tribute to him. 60 years of McLaren racing and McLaren Automotive here as well. It's just been absolutely spectacular. Wonderful.
We've been celebrating this all year, and I've been talking about it in Formula One as many other commentators have. But this has got to make you feel very special, and also make you feel that the family and the people of New Zealand who are so proud of what Bruce did in the day. And when you look at the humble beginnings, we were just talking about that, back in Auckland, his father was, ran the petrol station, which you were just telling me is kind of getting a renovation in some ways. But it's an amazing, humble, and yet amazing motor racing heroic story for so many reasons, and not just the cars that we're looking at now.
Well, it is. I mean, you've got the story of a little boy in New Zealand who at 9 years old is diagnosed with Perthes disease, so a degenerative condition of the hip joint, and put on traction for 2 years. And
lying down
on this traction frame and didn't come off it, and was told that he potentially may never walk again. And it certainly kind of changed the career path he was wanting to be on. He wanted to be an All Black and play rugby. But he was told no contact sport. And to be honest, I'm not a rugby fan. Whether it's nature or nurture, I love cars. So I'm really pleased Dad did decide to go be a racing driver. Those early years in that service station where he cut his teeth, building and then racing that little Ulster Austin that is now on display at the McLaren Technology Centre in the UK, and then through to working with Jack Brabham and meeting him, and the Driver to Europe Scholarship, and then the early days with Cooper. And what a story of success up to that point, becoming the youngest driver ever to win a Grand Prix, held that record for 40 years or 43 years, but then to decide he's going to establish his own racing team against, what were already out there, the Ferraris, the Maseratis, the Brabhams, the Coopers, the Lotus. And
pretty foolhardy when you think about it.
Yeah, crazy. This little kid, this little whippersnapper from New Zealand, But boy, look what it became. And just, 7 years really from starting the team through to his death. But, today, the second oldest team in the Formula One team in the history of the sport. What an amazing legacy.
And it just shows you how smart Sir Jack Brabham was to spot him at an early age and help him on his way. And obviously that combination of the pair of them, and then Jack going on to do his own team, obviously inspired Bruce. But Stephen, we talked yesterday, and let's get to what we're looking at on screen. Amanda, you were at the car that you were in is not out there, right?
So no. So I was in the little Elva McLaren MA Mark 1, depending where you are, Mark 2. But yeah, that's not running today. And it's if any of you have seen the Elvis movie Spin Out, that is actually that car that was in that movie. But yeah, what we've got today on track is basically one of every road car that McLaren Automotive have created in the last 13 years. So racing is 60 years old this year. McLaren Automotive, formed in 2010, 2010, a very young company really.
Yeah.
But look at what it's achieved, and for me, it kind of mirrors Dad's achievement, almost the same time frame, from coming to the UK, arriving in the UK, through to Goodwood, June 2nd, 1970, and McLaren Automotive, doing what Dad was wanting to do. So opposite the Can-Am cars, in the paddock today, there is the M6 GT, Dad's prototype road car, his daily driver, built on exactly the same philosophy as the automotive cars out on track now, super lightweight, and all about the fun and the engagement of driving the cars. So again, a huge tribute to what Dad was going to do, and it's just great to see them all here today.
You know, Stephen, that was what I was about to say, is that although we lost Bruce so early, I think this was part of the plan. McLaren Automotive was very much in his head, and were he to have survived the 70s and gone on, I think, you know, whether the cars would have looked like this, I don't know. They might be better, or worse, but amazing and truly a very rare story that people can follow a legacy on like that, especially given what he achieved.
It is, and it's great to be here today and walking through the street where you've got the garages on the brick garages on one side and a tent on the other. You'll find there is a huge number of cars there, and amongst them is Bruce's red M6 GT.
Wow.
On display. And it's so, Amanda, when she saw it, thought, wow, it is here. It's great to see it there amongst all the other cars, because it's 60 years and what it's become. That was the starting point. Look what we've produced today, and those cars out there are absolutely outstanding.